Hi everybody, it's Onyx here, and today I am bringing you part 5 of this what if that you guys seem to like. What if Deku had full counter? I much appreciate the love and support you guys have seemed to be interested in this series. And by the way, thank you so much for hitting the like goal of 300 likes. If you guys would like to see another part of this what if, try and get this video to 400 likes and 4,000 views to get the next part of this what if. And also, if you guys would like to be more engaged with me, I have a Discord server that is linked down the description, which is dead as fuck, which you guys can actually get in contact with me that way as well. But if y'all not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so by hitting the subscribe button down below and also the notification bell if you guys would like to. It helps me and shows the interest in this series that I'm actually doing at the moment. And also, I recently started to do Discord shoutouts live on my Twitch, and I recently started to do it here as well. So thank you to Nuttlewolf21 and Rogue Hood for actually joining the Discord server today. And if you guys would like to be the next shoutout of this video, join the Discord server and you guys can get the next shoutout next week or this week, depending on when my upload schedule is. I try and upload twice a week through Friday all the way to Tuesday. Without further ado, I'll let you guys enjoy this video. We're going to begin with the perspective of Izuku Midoriya getting into his first class of the day. Izuku walked down the hallway to be greeted with a smiling Nejire, as Izuku just kissed her on the cheek, which she returned it with a smile. "So Izuku, how's your first class today?" she said with a smile on her face. "Well, I've got fighting training with Aizawa today, so I think we've got that for 2 hours, so I think we got a breaking down then," Izuku said. "Same here, what's the coincidence of that?" she said, as Izuku just kissed her on the cheek and walked off to his first class. Same with Nejire. Izuku arrived at his first class as he sat down, as Aizawa told them what they were going to do today, as they heard a loud thumping coming from the hallway. As the moment Aizawa was about to walk over to the door, All Might burst the door open, saying that he was here. "I am here in a bizarre position," he said, as All Might introduced them all to their hero costumes as he pressed a button to reveal them all. As the students actually grabbed their suitcases and saw what was inside, as their eyes sparkled, knowing that what they were going to do today was hero training, as they all went to the changing rooms to get ready. As most of the people just stared at Izuku halfway through that time, because Izuku's literal costume was just like Meliodas' costume from 7 Deadly Sins Season 2. As mostly everyone in there thinking Izuku's costume looks really manly and nice. But the moment Izuku went outside, however, he was being looked at by most of his peers, thinking why the hell is his top button undone? Like he's wearing a school uniform still, but more old-timey. "Yo, Midoriya bro, what you wearing?" Kirishima said, walking up to Izuku. I'm wearing my hero costume. Why, is it too flashy?" he said. No, I was just wondering because it looks more like a school uniform." Yeah, I was going for more like an old-timey thing because my first quirk is actually called Full Counter. I thought this would be a lot more of a better fit because I saw an anime called 7 Deadly Sins and he had the same power as I do. So I thought it would be cool to actually copy his outfit and use that to my advantage. As All Might coughed loudly, getting all of their attention. "Okay students, we're going to do a little lotto picking. So everyone here come in here and pick a ball, and your teams will be decided from A, B, C, D, or E, and so on." As for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say Ochako and Izuku got the same one like the original was saying everyone else. As All Might just said, "Ochako and Izuku, come to the front of the building to get ready," All Might said. As Izuku and Ochako actually stood in front of the doors getting ready to actually go in, as All Might just get the okay. As we cut to before they said this. "Okay, Ochako, have you got a plan?" No, I was hoping you did," she said. "Okay, then I have one. I'll be the distraction for Bakugo. You try and get to the top of the building, you using your float, to see if you can find a way in through the top entrance so we don't have to deal with that as Izuku walked in, same with Ochako going up to the roof as she found her way in. Okay, this must be the front entrance, so let's just go in through here. The moment she hopped in, she saw 5 doors in the room, all leading to different areas, thinking it must be like a maze in here. As she started to wonder with her guard always being up, as she heard some gloating in the background with him laughing maniacally, as she managed to get in contact with Izuku, saying what floor it was on. Fourth floor and the first door to your left, Izuku, she said, relaying it to him. As Izuku would have said, "That's good, Ochako, I'll meet you there," he said, as he was about to leave before Bakugo shouted, "Hey, damn nerd, where are you?" he said in a very menacing, killing intent tone, as Bakugo just started to scream, "Where are you, Deku? Come out here and so I can kill you!" "Myself!" Bakugo shouted, as Izuku just says, "I'm over here." I'm taking the mickey out of Bakugo in the process of that, as Bakugo just turned the corner, seeing Izuku wide open, as Bakugo got ready to fire an explosion, as he threw a giant one on Izuku's head, with Izuku dodging out of the way, ducking under Bakugo's legs, sweeping him with the capture tape. As Izuku actually managed to make Bakugo hit his head, making him in a daze, as Bakugo's gauntlets glue red, as Izuku took a giant step back. If Izuku actually went forward with it, Bakugo could have called the pin and easily annihilated him, knocking him out of the match. That's why Izuku stepped back, as Izuku actually managed to make some distance between them, as Bakugo managed to collect his thoughts, jumping up, saying, "You damn nerd! I'm gonna kill you!" Bakugo got his gauntlet out, ready to pull the pin. Bakugo, if you pull that, you're gonna kill him," All Might said, shouting at Bakugo, as, "He'll be fine if he dodges," as Bakugo pulled the pin out of his gauntlet, with Izuku just saying, "Oh, for God's sake," as Izuku just did the same thing, but in canon, he actually, instead of using wind pressure, uses full counter, as Izuku full countered Bakugo's explosion above him, knocking Bakugo away a little bit from the wind pressure, making it 3 times as stronger when it gets sent back, as Bakugo's explosion went through the roof, hitting it like wind pressure, sending the shockwave through the entire cracks of the actual building, making the hole for Araka to actually use her special move, but it's not as powerful as what it should be in the original, but it still did the job done, as Araka grabbed hugged the bomb like a teddy bear, as they completed that task, them winning with Bakugo being extra pissed, but he knew not to attack Izuku because if he did he would be expelled. "Izuku!" Nejire shouted at him, charging at him while they're on their lunch break. "Nejire, what are you doing? You tickle, stop!" She did that by tickling the side of his neck where he's most ticklish. "Come on, Nejire, stop that tickles," Izuku said, as Nejire managed to actually make him give up. "Alright, you want a hug? Here you go," he said, sticking out his arms as Nejire actually included herself into the hug, as Izuku and Nejire both hugged there for a minute, with most boys in Class 1A actually being really jealous at Izuku's found love interest. "Izuku, you want to introduce us to her?" Mineta said, with a very perverted tone. "Hell no, I'm not introducing her to you, you pervert," Izuku said, kicking him in the head, knocking him into a wall. As Nejire just hugged Izuku's arm, telling him to hurry up. "We got a table preserved for me, Yumiru, and Tamaki," she said, smiling. As Izuku and Nejire both walked to the table, eating. "I don't see this as important, so I'm just going to skip this bit over and go straight to the USJ. As the press reps would be Izuku and Momo like the original. Everyone put on their hero suits and actually set off for the USJ, with everyone talking, as Tsuyu managed to actually chat with Izuku about certain things. "So, Midoriya-kun, are you dating anyone?" Tsuyu said. Izuku just replied saying yes, but he is not going to tell anyone who he was dating. So she just tried to pressure him into it, but she just completely just let go because he's not giving in. As they all arrived at the USJ, with Izuku actually just saying to Aizawa, what would they be doing here? As Aizawa just explained to them, they will be doing rescue training and a little bit of fighting, little bits of rubble that gets thrown at them basically, as everyone else would have got excited at this. They would have walked in at the USJ being greeted with 13, the hero, as everything like the original would have happened with Uraka being excited, as she would have just thrown her hands up in the air saying, "Yes, yes, yes, we're being taught by Hero 13, she's my favorite rescue hero. Turns out she's been to space," Uraka said. As Kirishima would have just walked to the edge seeing the rest of the USJ, he actually looked down to see a black little mist portal appearing at the bottom of the USJ. "Mr. Aizawa, is that what we're going to be fighting villains? This seems a little bit too realistic," Kirishima said. "Let me have a look. Oh shit, this is real," Aizawa said. "Everyone out now," Aizawa shouted to the rest of the students, as Aizawa just started to force his way through the students so he can push them along out of the exit. He didn't have any time, however, as one of the villains tried to rush up the stairs. Aizawa would have took whiff of this, as he cancelled the guy's quirk, making him fall all the way downstairs, making him hit his head, knocking him out more or less. "Everyone get out of here now, I'll try and hold them off as best I can," Aizawa said. As 13, take care of the students. "Yes, sir," 13 said, as they all tried to get outside, with Kirigiri doing the same thing as the original. "Where do you think you're going, kids?" Kirigiri said, opening his warp gate so he can actually absorb most of the kids into it. As everything like the original would have happened, with Izuku, Mineta, and Tsuyu being trapped on the boat, Izuku would have actually come up with more of a basic plan instead of using One For All and breaking his fingers. Izuku doesn't have One For All in this timeline, so we're going to have to work with what we have. As Izuku had the idea to actually use his flame power of his quirk to actually smelt all the water down, but that'll probably kill all the villains, which he didn't want to do. Izuku had no choice, however. They would have allayed this to Sue and Mineta, as most of them would have agreed to this, but it's murder. "But we have no choice though, do we? Let me do it and I'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, we have to go with plan B. Suyu's gonna have to jump while I attack. Get ready? 3, 2, 1. As Tsuyu jumped into the air as hard as she could, leaving a little bit of a crater, but it wasn't too noticeable. As Izuku started to fire at the villains with his darkness flame, melting most of the water around them, making sure they can't escape. As Mineta felt like he was being useless, so he threw a bunch of black and purple balls into the water. "You stupid villains! Drop on my sticky balls!" Mineta said, shouting at the top of his lungs. As Izuku and Tsuyu both landed at the other end of the water like the original, being seen by Shigaraki, but without realizing it, they didn't see Ida slip away, as a giant herd boom was heard at the front entrance of the UA, as they saw All Might not smiling. Everyone in front of All Might was scared, but most of the students was actually shaking from the amount of pressure All Might was giving off, as All Might instantly rushed in, defeating most of the villains right in front of him, and damaging most of the building surroundings, making wind flow through the air like a giant shockwave, which it was creating, as Izuku instantly was picked up with Aizawa, Tsuyu, and Mineta in All Might's arms. "Don't worry, young ones, I am here," as All Might, without thinking, instantly rushed them to the front step, telling them to actually go up. Izuku told All Might what the Nomu was capable of. He saw Aizawa being crushed by it, as All Might just threw a thumbs up at them, telling them everything will be okay, as All Might rushed in like the original, fighting the Nomu off, basically butting it down, making sure the Nomu couldn't have time to move or react. But just like the original, All Might was trapped under a portal, almost being squished by it. Izuku rushed in without thinking, leaving Aizawa and Tsuyu and Mineta together, taking Aizawa back up to the top from being heavily injured. Izuku instantly rushed up, however, instantly using 100% of his black flames, using control, as Izuku instantly threw black flames at the Nomu, destroying half of its body in the process of that, leaving it charred and burned, leaving All Might enough room to escape. Izuku wasn't unharmed, however. Half of his body was being charred and big full of black flame marks on his left arm from using his 100% of his power. As the fight ensued like the original, with All Might beating the shit out of the Nomu, sending it flying out of the USJ. Izuku, however, wasn't unsaved, however. Shigaraki was charging at Izuku, ready to throw both of his hands on Izuku, trying to disintegrate him. As Izuku instantly used full counter on Shigaraki. Without thinking it, however, Izuku didn't realize his decay was actually can be reflected back at him. Izuku, without thinking that, he just flinged his sword to Shigaraki, deflecting his decay right back at him, disintegrating Shigaraki's left and right arms, making him almost quirkless. All of the heroes arrived, with Snipe shooting most of the holes into Shigaraki's arms, legs, and almost torso, killing almost Shigaraki, as Kurogiri surrounded him as they made their escape, like the original. Izuku was instantly rushed to the ER, same with Aizawa, having to being hospitalized for a couple of weeks, or a couple of days to be more precise. Weeks would have been into the sports festival. How stupid am I? As Izuku woke up in the hospital, seeing Nijire sleeping right next to him, very comfortable and tired, like she's been up for hours on end. Izuku tried to power on the head, realizing his arms were in casts. Nijire woke up to this with her face crying and a little dark shadow under her eyes where her hair is. "You big meanie, I thought you died," she said, nudging into his chest. As this is where we're going to leave the video off. For one of you guys who wanted this to be longer, there you go, you got your wish. And also, I recently made a Patreon if you guys would actually like to go donate to it. We have different tiers, like you can make me make a thumbnail for you. You guys can actually also force me to actually make a what if that you guys would like to see. And also, if you guys are actually a member of the Patreon, you guys can actually see my videos 2 days early before they actually come out on the channel. And without further ado, I'll let you guys enjoy the rest in a bit more.